Hello everybody, today we're going to be going over 5 tips and tricks that will help you get better at Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Now whether you're a seasoned veteran or you're just coming into the game, I believe that all these tips will be useful for you and you can apply them even if you're a top skilled player. So let's just get started. My number 1 tip is to find a gun that suits you and your playstyle. Now luckily in Cold War you can bring whatever gun you want into the starting room. You can bring your assault rifle, sniper rifle, shotgun, anything you want. And I think this is good because D Machine already is a really dynamic map that allows you to use virtually any playstyle, and allowing you to bring whatever gun you want into the game I think really adds to that. So if you're a camper, bring in your LMG. If you're a really kite heavy person, use your SMGs and assault rifles. If you like to spray and pray like a madman like me, bring in your shotgun. My point is that you can virtually use any weapon you want and the game will support your playstyle. My personal favorite weapons are the AK-47, the Stoner, and the Howard 77. But you can use really any weapon. Just stay away from the pistols. My number 2 tip is to use equipment. Now, in the old games, equipment virtually worked a bit different. So what would happen is either you would spin the mystery box and you would get your your monkey bombs or whatever. Or you would go on a long quest in order to get, let's say, the G-Strikes or some OP upgraded weapon, and you would spawn in with regular old grenades that would stop working past round 10. And this worked, however, I think in Cold War they did a much better system. Now what happens in this game, I'm sure you all know, is that zombies either drop equipment or you can go craft it at one of the craft stations around the map. And equipment is really important because it can help you get out of situations that you otherwise would have not been able to get out of in the first place. And you need to remember to be using it because, for example, let's say you're running around and you're at like 1 hit to die, you're like 40 health, and a zombie's like right in front of you. You can stim shot and you'll be back up to full health virtually instantly. Or let's say you're training around or you're trapped in a corner or whatever and you're about to get out and one zombie steps in your way. You can use an tomahawk to get out of your way real quickly. Or let's say you've ran out of ammo in your training and you've got a whole horde in front of you. Use your tomahawk or your C4 to just clear out the horde and get some ammo, get some salvage, whatever you need. Or another situation is you're trapped in a corner and you throw a decoy or a monkey bomb. You get my point. Point is that you can use your equipment to get yourself out of really any situation in this game, and I think it is important to do so. And remember, don't be afraid to use your equipment because you'll get it back eventually, either killing the zombies or getting salvage and going and buying it. Trust me, on the later rounds you're going to have an abundance of drops on the ground that you're not going to have any inventory space to use. And what I recommend using are the stim shots, the monkey bombs, the tomahawks, virtually everything. Yeah, everything is really good except for really the normal grenades. They're not really that powerful, but other than that, I recommend everything. Now the next tip I have here is to perfect your training. Now you may be asking, how can I do this in the Cold War? And luckily in the game, the zombies aren't as, I guess you could say heavy as they used to be, because before, if a zombie was in your way, there was really no way to get out of it unless you shot them. But in this game, you can easily move around them and you can mantle onto things and you can basically use your environment to help you out while you're training, camping, whatever. And I think that's really good, and it really helps create new strategies in the game. So one way you can get better at training is to go in an area that you normally wouldn't be in. So for example, in D Machine, Nocturne Tone, or if you want to go train down in the Pack-a-Punch area. These are really close quarter spaces that limit the player, and I think these are important for getting you better at training, as while you're limited in space, you have to use your movement in order to get out of most situations. So these are the places I recommend. Or another tip I recommend is to play or train around without Juggernog or any armor or any perks whatsoever, and this will help you get really good at training. And it might be frustrating at first, however over time you should become a better player and you should reach whatever goal you want to be honest. Now my number 4 tip is similar to my other tips, is to play different game modes that they add to the game. Now, recently they added Cranked, which me and my friends agreed upon is one of the best ways to get good at zombies, because it's just a constant barrage of zombies. You're kind of getting overwhelmed constantly, and you have to remember to be always killing zombies, and they're always on your tail. And I think it's just a really, really fun game mode. And we agreed that, you know, this is like bare bones zombies at its finest. It's not like you can like do any kind of weird strategy. Like, you have to always be killing them. Eventually the timer gets down to, I think it was like 5 seconds, and you have to be killing zombies in 5 seconds. So you're just getting bombarded with zombies. People are dying left and right, and it's just a shit show. And I really did like it. I really did appreciate Cranked, and I hope we see something similar to it in the future. And another tip, or another game mode you can play that they added to the game, was Onslaught. And Onslaught is similar to the idea of Cranked, where you're in like a small area in one of the multiplayer maps. I'm sure you guys know what this is. And you're really limited on your weaponry and your equipment, because you can't pack a bunch of guns, can't get any higher tier weapons. It's all based on luck, and you're gonna have to be killing megatons and killing zombies and stuff like that. And it can get really tough, because you're really limited in your firepower, so you have to really rely on your movement and your overall skill at the game. So my number 4 tip is to get good at challenges and play challenge modes, because they will help you by limiting you in your skills, or by limiting you in your arsenal. They help you get better at other skills, such as movement and stuff like that. And another thing you can do is you can even make your own challenges for yourself. So, for example, playing without perks, playing without body armor, playing without a certain weapon that you like. Anything like that will help you out in the long run. So my number 5 tip, arguably my most important tip, is to find a specialist that suits your own playstyle. Now, in the game, there are currently 5 specialist weapons, the one they being Cryo Freeze, Energy Mine, Healing Aura, Ring of Fire, and Ether Shroud. Now, some of them may be better than others, but I think they're overall really balanced really well. And you can really use any of them to your own playstyle. Like, for example, if you want to be the medic of the team, you can bring in Healing Aura or Ether Shroud. If you like camping, you can bring in Energy Mine or Ring of Fire. If you like training, you can bring in Ether Shroud. If you even Cryo Freeze, if you're trapped in a corner, Cryo Freeze can really help you out and get out of the corner. So my point is that you can use any of the specialist weapons that suit your own playstyle. So find one that suits you and do really well with it. So to run through the list as a recap, my number 1 tip is to find a gun that suits you and your playstyle. Number 2 tip, use equipment, and don't be afraid to run out of equipment, as you're always going to get more. Number 3 tip, get good at training in zombies by limiting yourself in certain ways. Number 4 tip, play the different game modes that the developers add into the game, or even make your own challenges. Number 5 tip is to find a specialist that suits you and your playstyle. That's about it for this video, guys. I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope this helped you out, and if you could, leave a like, because that would really help me out. And I guess that's it for this video. So guess I'll see everyone in the next one, and I guess I'll see everyone when Fire Z Base Z comes out.